My name is Soini Crenshaw. I'm an actress and yoga instructor from Brooklyn, New York. And the kind of experience I had with domestic violence was emotional and verbal by an ex-boyfriend that I ended my relationship with him back in 2010. It's about 7 years ago. I met him at a theater company in late 2004, and we began seeing each other in early 2005. And the first, like after our first sexual experience, I had gotten pregnant, but I was not ready to be a mother, and he definitely didn't want me to have his child. So I had an abortion. I was very vulnerable when I met him. So I was already psychically damaged. So I was kind of easy prey for him to be abusive and take advantage of me. I fell in love with him after our first sexual encounter. When I first laid eyes on him, I had a feeling that he wasn't somebody I should really be messing with, but he was very charming and I fell under his spell. So I fell in love with him and became very emotionally attached to him. And I did things with him that I never thought I would ever do. I grew up being a very good girl, doing very well in school, making sure that I appeared that I was going to have my life together. But like I said, I was already psychically damaged when I met him. So I kind of fell under his spell and did whatever he wanted me to do because I was so attached to him and loved him so much that I felt like I couldn't live without him, and I needed a man. I really felt I needed and wanted a man in my life. So as our relationship progressed, I became very much more dissociated and disconnected from myself and even him, where I allowed myself to get pregnant 2 more times and had 2 more abortions. So the whole time I was with him, I had 3 abortions. And then I was in school. I went back to school, went to grad school for acting, and because I had lost a job, a temp job, and I didn't feel I could handle working. So I went back to school, and I really wanted to pursue acting. So I figured I'd go back to school and get more training. And I still was with him throughout my 3 years in grad school. And I just seemed to emotionally and psychologically get worse, despite my achievement in school. I allowed him to talk me into participating in an embezzlement scheme where I allowed my bank account to be used for the wiring of money. And a year later, I was arrested behind it. Thank God, though, I was able to not have to go to jail. The charges against me were dismissed. So I was able to put that behind me and try to look forward to my future pursuing an acting career. But I still couldn't let him go. I was still very emotionally attached to him, very much in love with him, that I felt so damaged that I felt like there was no other man that was going to love me. I was going to find another decent man to love me, so I felt like I had to stay with him. I felt like I had no other choice. I was so damaged. No other man was going to want me. But what really broke the camel's back was when he got me involved in exotic dancing / underground prostitution. So that lasted about a couple of months while I was still in my last year of grad school. And I tried to make some money. He wanted me to be making some money to help support him financially. So he thought it would be a good idea for me to dance in clubs and have sex for money, which basically what I did. And the last time I actually danced at a club was 2 weeks before I had to perform my final thesis, my performance for my MFA. And this particular night, I made a decent amount of money, but then before I left the club, I realized that my money was stolen, and I felt very scared and desperate to get the money back because I was afraid of returning to him without any money, without having made any money. And I believed he was going to be mad at me, yell at me, and I didn't want to deal with that. So I felt I had to do what I had to do to get the money back, to make the money back. And I went with a group of guys to one of their friends' house and slept with about 6 guys, and it was all night. I was very exhausted by the morning, and lo and behold, there was another guy who wasn't there. They decided to come back early that morning and wanted to have sex with me. Being I was up all night, having done 6 other guys, I was tired and did not want to have sex with another guy. I was tired. I was exhausted and I needed to leave. I had school. I had to go to class that day, and I was just exhausted. I did not want to have sex with this guy, but he refused to take no for an answer. He felt, since I slept with his friends, that I was supposed to sleep with him. I was supposed to give him sex too. And despite my no's and protesting, he got me on the bed, and I kept resisting and resisting until he grabbed my neck and started choking me. And I just felt I felt like I was having an out-of-body experience, and I had to give in. I didn't want to lose my life, so I gave in and had sex with this guy. I never talked about it, never shared the experience until I was in therapy like 3 years after this incident happened, and a therapist had to tell me that what I experienced was rape. Because I went into such deep denial that I didn't want to see it as rape. I was so embarrassed. I just couldn't believe that I was being victimized yet again in my life. Because prior to dealing with this guy who got me into this mess, I experienced childhood sexual abuse up until from the time I was 5 until I was 12. And then right after I graduated college, I was raped twice in my early 20s. So I had a history of sexual victimization. And I just couldn't deal with the fact that I had gotten raped again in my life. So because of all this trauma, I ended up going to a psychiatric treatment program after being diagnosed with major depression and complex trauma, PTSD. And I've been in treatment for the last 7.5 years. And I continue to go to individual treatment twice a week, and I continue to take antidepressants, Wellbutrin, and Prozac. And I just want to encourage anybody who's gone through this type of experience, any type of abuse by an intimate partner or a close family member, anybody that you trust and they betrayed your trust, know that you can survive as long as God continues to put breath in your body and you can wake up in the morning every day. You are a survivor and that you can overcome. It takes a lot of time and effort to heal, but you can heal. And I'm a living testament to that healing process. I'm still going through my healing process, but I know that God has kept me here on the planet for a reason. So I continue to focus on my healing, and I encourage anybody that has gone through anything like this, that as long as God has breath, continues to put breath in your body, that you can heal and that you'll be able to live a fulfilling life. As long as you continue to find the support that you need, you have to go to therapy, do whatever you have to do. Continue to worship or develop a spiritual practice so you can be connected to your Creator so that you have strength to keep going. And that's what I'm a living testament of, is healing is possible.